Sorry, I just had to get that out of the way. This is the second episode of Book 2, Korra Alone. And yeah, I mean, I really hope you watch the episode because I just freaking spoiled it. But yeah, this is the episode Korra Alone, where Korra is still recovering from her battle at the end of Book 3, and she goes, all this time goes by, and it takes her forever, but she finally manages to be able to walk, and even then, she's still traumatized by what happened. So she goes on, thinks she's not going to learn anything or recover. She realizes she's not going to recover. It's more an internal problem than an external problem at this point. So Korra decides to go on a spiritual journey. And so she sets off journeys all over the world, desert, the spirit world, the Fire Nation, and finally the spirit tells her to go to the swamp to seek enlightenment, and tells her someone's there who can help her. And she goes there, and I mean, I kind of guessed this, but it was still really cool regardless. She finds freaking Toph! Love it! So very much like the Zuko Alone, which this episode's based on, it's very much an episode very focused on this one character as opposed to the others. It is about kind of a journey episode, incorporates flashback, but more importantly, it's an awesome episode. And so far, this is the best season, hands down. And I mean, I'm gonna wait until the end to call it, but there's a very good chance this season could be on par with Last Airbender, which is something none of the other seasons have, but wait about that. So, this episode was fucking brilliant. I mean, I've liked Korra / hater. I've never really found Korra that compelling of a character, but this season, she is just so interesting. Like, where was this Korra the entire show? She's interesting. I mean, I've always thought a good character is one who is a conflict, a dilemma they need to overcome in an arc, and Korra has a really big one. She is not only physically damaged, but internally she is weak. And she has to sort of rebuild herself, rediscover herself, and she is just broken. And her overcoming that is going to be something really interesting. And I was always annoyed that Book 1, Korra was broken, then they just immediately fixed her. Like, there was no, Book 2 should have been her dealing with it. And I feel like the creators have gotten the message, because, Book 3, she's broken, and at the start of Book 4, she's still broken, and, I love how it's they said, she needs a couple weeks to recover. No, she's far beyond that. I mean, days, weeks, months go by, and she is still in that wheelchair. And even then, she is still broken, she is still mentally traumatized and messed up, and I love that. I love how not only is Korra's conflict, but the state of the world, all of this is a result of Book 3. I mean, this is what they were going for. Rob Walker said these are kind of like the Star Trek movies where you have, the one that's sort of just its own thing, and then you have, these free other stories that are separate stories, but closely tied together, and that's what it feels like. I mean, more so Book 3 and 4 just because they knew that they had multiple seasons, but yeah, so I really like what they're doing. I mean, these are separate stories, but they're tied together. The events of Book 4, the problems, are a result of the problems in Book 4, and it almost makes me wish they had 3 seasons from the start, because I feel like the show would have been much stronger as a result, but we have it. We have our tied seasons. We have Korra finally broken, and I love it. I love the montage of how all this time is going by, and she is still not getting better. You're like, shit. And I do love the idea of Korra going on a journey of her trying to find herself. Korra is trying to discover herself. She is trying to basically looking for answers. And I don't know, just something about that whole spiritual journey thing is cool. I really love first off, I really hope that we see more of the Fire Nation than that one quick shot we see of her on her journey. I love how she goes back to the spirit world and tries to meditate. I like how the spirits are trying to help her. It's kind of cute. And I like how they're coming back. Like, I like how the spirits are playing a role and stuff. And I also love the reveal at the end that Toph is kind of back. I mean, I kind of guessed she was going to show up this episode because I figured, why would you reveal something like that if it's going to happen, like, later down the road? Like, if it's going to happen, it's probably going to happen early on. And yeah, I'm really happy this happened early on. Although, I do kind of wish they hadn't revealed that in the trailer. I think it would have been way cooler if you had been saying, like, wait a minute, I know those clothes. Oh my gosh, it's Toph! Like, I feel like it would have been cooler. Like, especially considering it's a bigger reveal this time. It isn't like Zuko where you're just like, oh look, it's Zuko. It's like, no, it's fucking Toph. I mean, it was still effective. I'm just saying, I feel like I would have freaked out more if I had not known Toph was going to show up this season. Because I kind of predicted she was going to show up at the end of the episode. I was kind of like waiting and expecting it to happen. But it was still cool nonetheless. And, you know, it seems like Toph is going to be playing a mentor role, although, what happened to her? I mean, she's like, why is she wearing her old battered clothes? Why is she wearing her... Why is she all hunched over? Why isn't she tall? But yeah, I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with Toph next. But yeah, so story and character aside, this was a fantastic episode. I mean, the animation was gorgeous, probably the best of the entire series. I mean, I love especially the shot where she's on the cliff in the water tribe, and she's like bending, and you can see the stars. I love the music they have playing, especially during the fighting scenes. I love how it's all original music. Like, so far I haven't heard them recycling a lot of music. It's been mostly original, which is also nice. I really much like how everything seems to be tying together. Like, we have... Yeah. Like, you know, the spirits coming back. We have the water tribe. We get to see Katara come back. Like, I love all this stuff. So yeah, this was probably one of the best episodes of the series. And I cannot wait. I'm really curious where they're going. More so than I ever see. I mean, like, 2 episodes in already, like, so much has happened. It's really good. And again, I think a lot of that just has to do with the fact that we're picking up where last season left off. We're starting in the middle of things. We're throwing you right into the middle of the action so you can go right with it. And yeah, I am loving this season so far. I'm really curious where they're going. And I cannot wait for the next episode. So, a couple things. Number one, that puppy wasn't really a hybrid of anything. And also, loving Korra's new look. And finally, I love that picture of Aang. Like, when she goes to the shop, he's like, oh, I took pictures of all the artists, and you see Aang, and he's like a 30-year-old man, yeah, he's still doing the, check this out! Like, I love how Aang is still Aang as a grown man. Like, even when Aang's like, Toph, don't call me Twinkle Toes anymore, but... Yeah, I cannot wait for the next episode. I mean, I feel like we're probably going to cut to Kuvira next season. Are we going to cut to Kuvira, or we're going to cut to... Korra. No. Back to Korra, we're going to do both. Because, here's the thing, we have 2 plot lines. We have a lot of plot lines going on right now. But essentially, we have 2 main ones. We have the Earth Kingdom problems over here, and we have Korra over there. And it's very similar to Last Airbender in the sense we have these 2 major plot lines, and, like, one significantly more interesting than the other. And in this case, it's Korra. And, I mean, the creators have been talking about how they wanted to create this strong female protagonist, and they've finally done it, so kudos to you guys. So, what did you think of Korra Alone? Did you love this episode like I did, or did you hate it? Please comment and let me know. And as always, like, dislike, comment, subscribe. JStarWars360 signing out, and I cannot wait to see Toph next season. Unless, of course, it's all Kuvira, Bolin, and the Republic City stuff in that case. Please, I want to see more Toph! Anyway, that'll be all. Take care.